Hey, what's up, YouTubers, day traders, and market participants? We're going to be diving into UNH. Pull the charts up, have some good ideas of how to get into it, some ideas to stay away from it. Going to give you both sides of the story. So, hope you stay tuned. And if you find anything valuable in this video, please go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Helps me out. Thank you. Appreciate it. But let's get straight into the charts. All right. So, here we have UNH on the weekly, daily, and 4 hour. Weekly is very, very important, especially if you're a long term investor. So is the monthly. But the weekly right now, oof, look at that. This is absolutely ugly. It has broken down through this support line right here of we could call that for between 450 and 470, kind of a good area of support, and it's just broken and crashed down. So, as I'm kind of looking at this, you could say, well, is this a kind of a good bottom? I would say we haven't seen the bottom yet. We don't know. First off, we need to see if the market law of double bottoms, the market will always try to find a new high and a new low. And if it doesn't confirm that new low or that new high, it reverses and goes in the opposite direction. So, it needs to confirm if 248.4088 is the new low. It has to confirm that. So the fact that we rejected off of that price level, the fact that we pushed up here from this 248.88 level, you can kind of see that there's green there because it was red. It was red as it pushed down, and then the green came back and pushed it up. Then the green pushed it up, but then the red bears came back into effect. So you can't really say this is over. This push down to the downside is over. Um, you could, if you are super bullish on UNH, I would wait for it to come back down to 248 because it's going to test that level. And if maybe it gets to 250, doesn't break 250 and just starts heading upwards from there, that's a good buy. But I wouldn't, it's already broke 300 again. Probably next level is going to be 275. I wouldn't even touch it there. I would wait at least till 250 to start nibbling at it. That is the most bullish case scenario. The other bullish case scenario is if this next week opens up and it's a solid green. So say like the next week happens and we got a nice green candle like this that takes over the red, that would be a good case scenario. Then you could at least buy it. And my first sell target would be as soon as this blue line, as soon as it touches this blue line, that would be my swing trade. Long-term investment, I don't see it yet. I really don't see your long-term investment play out here. But if green takes over this red, then you could have a good, nice swing to the upside to this blue line. I don't know how long that will take. We're looking at a weekly chart. Maybe it could play out in a whole month or so. This all happened in a month. That's 4 weeks there. So it started the move. So it's been about a month. It's been about a month. I guess 6 weeks in total, right? One, two, three, four, five, six. So 6 weeks kind of just on the downside. This was an E. This was an ugly break. An ugly break of the 200 moving average here, guys. Ugly break of this 200 moving average. And as you can see, it broke it with velocity. And as it just cracked through, it didn't even bounce up. It did the stock didn't even bounce up to check on the 8 moving average to see if we want to keep going down. It just kept crashing, crashing, crashing. And then finally, the last piece of news that they gave us, so could you consider this move complete? That kind of looks complete. It started off with a big candle, the middle of the body, and then the last candle. So that you could say this move was maybe it could be complete. That's the bullish case scenario here, right? Um, on the daily, it could not get above the 8 here. It could not. The 8 moving average, it could not. So that tells me it's still kind of weak, guys. That tells me it's still pretty weak because the eight is it's a super trend. If you're still following the 8 to the upside or downside, it's a super trend. So it hasn't even broken past the 8 yet. So that's another reason why I would really want to be bullish on this yet. Like I said, the first stab for a bullish case scenario, I would take at 250. Now, bearish case scenario, once we get back up to this 8 moving average here, you could take it short easily. Easily back into the lows. You get a green candle here for the weekly and it looks strong, and picture this is green and it looks strong and it goes back up, as soon as it hits that 8 moving average, I would be selling it, which probably would coincide with this purple line on the daily chart when that would hit on the weekly chart. Um, the reason why I wouldn't really want to touch UNH right now is because this is the beginning stages. This is the beginning stages of what could be a very ugly and long-term downtrend that could take a while to come back, and it also could just skyrocket right back up, right? You know, they go through they go through the legal stuff, they go through the new CEO, whatever, you know, and they have a turnaround story. Yes, that could happen easily. But from the weekly perspective, it looks pretty bad because look at this. I'll give you a great example of something that didn't come back that is also everyone would consider a value investment. Look at Target. So just because it broke under, it eventually came back. You can see it breaks under the 200 right here. That's the 200. It breaks under it. This part is kind of familiar to the UNH chart, kind of has a strong red, goes sideways, catches up to the blue, and then continues to push down one more time. What if UNH pushes down at least one more time? Maybe goes to 200, 180, who knows? But not only that, this move took a long time for it to make, and then it pushes back up to the 200, gets rejected, and goes even further down. So think about that in the sense of UNH, where UNH, you know, you might have the same story here, and it could take some time to play out, but this could be bad. You know, that is for sure the bearish case scenario, and I would be very cautious in touching this right now. Um, if you're a swing trader, I would wait for green to take over red. Then you could take green up to the upside till we get to the blue line. Then I would get rid of that position. And then as soon as red takes over like this right here, see this perfect spot right here? Soon as red takes over, red took over this green by the moving average, you get the play downward and then the gap down. That would have been really nice to have your whole profits had you entered in here, your stops right above it, and then you catch all that money, gap down, you catch money, and then if you held to that last gap down, that would have been the ultimate capitalization off of this play off the daily. Honestly, if red takes over green right here, that's a nice short play back down to 248, to be honest, because that's 50-point move in a week. That could be strong. That this might have to be on if we see some weakness coming into this market next week, and UNH gives us the green light on red taking over this last green, because right now green won. You can tell that this candle, as small as it may be, this candle is still stronger than this candle. So balls in greens court yet. This was an indecision, but if a candle similar to this opens up, maybe it opens up right here, maybe it opens up at the 300 mark, and it goes down, and it looks like this, and it goes under, let's see this price target. This opened up at 293. So it opened up at 293. If it closes below 293, then you have a full red taking over green by the moving average. and you could get an extension downward to that 200 40 area, right? So be very cautious with this one. I don't know if I would jump in it right now, especially to the long side. I would at least want to see 1 week of solid green taking over red before I would even give this a shot to the upside. It's going to happen eventually, but I would at least wait for that because you never know. This was green and looking good, and I was watching it. I was like, oh, if it closes green, that's going to be a good time to get in for the reversal. But the Bears came back in and pushed it all the way back down. So I think we wait on this one. I think we wait on this one until it gives us a clear sign. We could. I haven't seen the monthly on this. Usually the monthly, the monthly is good, but the monthly is also like a very, very long-term horizon. So, I mean, look at that. Can't even make this up. It's hitting the 200 moving average right here, right now. Actually, it's a little bit lower. 200 moving average is 222. So what does that tell me? That tells me that when over here on the daily, this is the 4 hour. If we do get that red take over green, I say us we're gonna break through these lows and we're gonna go down to 222.15. We might even go to 220 just to hit that level, go through it a little bit so that the real Wall Street people and hedge funds can really load up on it. And then they're gonna ride it all the way back up to 630. So UNH is definitely on the radar. If you wanted to swing trade it back down into these lows, that is something you could do. I am not a financial advisor. This is stuff that I look at and try to help people understand the markets with the charts because the news, oh boy, the news will um, take you in circles. Okay, guys? So I hope you really enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.